launching our new program called the Nitty Gritty. So I'd like to introduce all of the dietitians in case you might not be familiar with all of us. My name is Laura Poland, and I am the owner of Dietitian In Your Kitchen. I've been a dietitian way too long, but I enjoy working with clients, and especially clients who are looking to help prevent diabetes or control their diabetes. And I enjoy working with anyone on any other journey and helping them with their medical concerns and how nutrition might be playing a role in those, as all of the dietitians who work with me love to do. So let me kind of go around here, and to my right I have Caroline. So Caroline, do you want to introduce yourself next?
Sure, yeah. As Laura said, my name's Caroline. I'm a registered dietitian as well, and I love working with athletes and active individuals. I really believe there's so much power in fueling your body for the activity that you do to get the results that you want and the performance that you want. So I want to help you reach your athletic potential.
Awesome. All right. Next down below we'll go to Michelle next.
Hey, yeah. Hi, like Laura said, I'm Michelle, and I'm also a registered dietitian. I've been a dietitian for, I believe I just had my 5-year anniversary, and I love to work with clients who are looking to manage or lose weight. I also work with those who are looking to develop a healthier relationship with food, and that may have current or have had past eating disorder type conditions. I also love working with families and children. So I'm sort of a little bit of a wild card, but I definitely have a passion for those who overall are just looking to learn healthier behaviors and need someone to help get them there.
Awesome. Okay. And finally, Julie Palmer.
Hi, everyone. My name is Julie Palmer. I've been a registered dietitian for about 15 years here in Columbus. And my private practice is focusing on IBS and GI conditions. So recently I completed a very comprehensive training course on the low FODMAP diet with Monash University. And I have been really guiding people through this process to help relieve their IBS symptoms, help them have a better quality of life. It's been a real passion project for me. I also have IBS, so I really understand what it's like to go through that and how it affects your life and what it's like to follow this low FODMAP diet and to find solutions. So I would love to take anyone on as a client that's struggling with that.
Fabulous. So, so that's us. And like I said, we're here. Today is National Registered Dietitian Day.
Yay!
I always think that's funny, but basically it gave me an excuse to get on here and to be able to ask you all if you have any questions for us. So feel free to type in any general questions for nutrition you have in the chat box, and we'll be happy to answer those. We are going to be we can talk a little bit about our new program that we've launched while we're waiting for questions to come in. We have recently launched a 6-week, I like to think about it as the nitty-gritty of nutrition is what it's called. It's kind of like a nutrition 101, gets you started. If you're not sure about working one-on-one with a dietitian and you kind of want to just start and get some basic information about nutrition and everything, you can take this course. It's an on-demand course, but you will be connected with one of us where you will be able to take food record pictures, tell us what you're eating, ask any questions you might have, maybe set some goals. We actually have presentations that will come out each week that will give you that nitty-gritty information about achieving a healthy lifestyle and what does that look like? How can you get there? And we'll give you ideas each week on how to create a goal for yourself. From there, those goals we will evolve them during the program and comment and help you with those, and make sure that they're smart, and you'll learn about that during the program. And it's a good place to start. So if that's something you're interested in, you can always message us or find more information on our website. I'll put some more information in as we go along, and at the end we actually will have a promo code if you're interested in doing it that will get you a discount on the program. Did I leave anything out of anybody? What else do you think?
No, that was great. I was gonna say, yeah, we're doing a special all through the month of March, so this is a really good time to sign up and get to know us. It's a pretty low commitment, and it's just a fun way to be introduced to some really good nutrition.
Yeah. Yes. So let's see. I know I'm not seeing any live questions, but I have gotten this question before. I've gotten a question on, if you're diabetic, a lot of times the doctor will say to reduce your carbs and that type of thing. So what does that mean, and where do you find carbohydrates? So I just think this is a good thing for a lot of people to know, is carbohydrates come from a variety of sources. It's not just bread and pasta and rice. And there's nothing wrong with bread or pasta or rice. But we do have to control where all the carbohydrates are coming from if you're trying to watch your blood sugars and control your blood sugars. So it comes from grains, which you might realize what those are. Like I mentioned, the breads, the pastas, the rice, and also maybe cereal that you eat in the morning and things like that. It also comes from fruit, and it also comes from vegetables that you eat. And some vegetables are higher in carbohydrates than other vegetables are. And then we also get carbs significantly from some of the dairy we consume. So milk and yogurt particularly. So there is a variety. When someone comes up to me and tells me, I don't eat carbs, the thing is, it's like, well, we want you to eat carbs because of those fruits, the vegetables, the nutrition that you get from the grains, especially whole grains. So those are the things that I like to talk about. And if you have any more questions about carbs, just let me know. So next, I'm going to go to Caroline. And Caroline, do you have a question that maybe somebody's been asking you?
Yeah, so kind of going off of your carbohydrate conversation that you just started, a lot of times people ask me, like, what should you eat before workouts, after workouts? And I like to remind everyone that I work with is that carbs are our energy source. They are that fuel to the fire in our body, and they allow us to work out and get a good workout in, right? We want to have a productive workout. So those carbohydrate-rich foods are really good for pre-workout. So things like having a banana or a smoothie, or you could even have some toast. Maybe we're putting a little bit of peanut butter on there if you have a little extra time beforehand. So those are some examples of those pre-workout snacks. And then for post-workout snacks, we want both protein and carbohydrates. So the carbohydrates then replace the energy that we lost during our training or our workout. And then that protein that everyone hears about, that's so good for you after workouts, we want that there, and that's going to help us repair those muscles that we're breaking down in the workout process. So an example of post-workout snacks or meals even could be you build a nice well-balanced meal with protein, maybe it's grains and starches of some sort, and then that color, or we're having more of a snack situation, and that could be a protein shake. So maybe we're making a smoothie, maybe we're having a couple hard-boiled eggs with a piece of fruit. Those are some of those first little snacks that you could lean your way into.
I love that. And yeah, that combination of carbs and proteins together after a snack. Got it.
My favorite after workout snack, we were in a meeting earlier and I was eating it. It's a spoonful of peanut butter and a little bit of raisins. I just mix it together. I eat it. It's so good. And it just covers all my bases.
I think added on celery and it's like ants on a log.
Oh yeah, I could do that. That's a good idea.
There you go. Yum. That one doesn't get old. It just doesn't get old for me.
I love peanut butter on any fruit. I pretty much eat a banana with peanut butter every morning for breakfast too.
Nice.
Yeah, there was a time in college where I was a poor college student and I just did not feel like going to go grocery shopping. All I had was peanut butter and carrots.
Hey,
So I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
It wasn't the best, but it wasn't the worst. I was like, this is satisfying a craving, and it
does the
fueling
trick.
me, so
yeah.
it does the trick. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also really
Yeah.
like Greek yogurt because you can get it for pretty low cost, but it's high protein. And you can have it with berries. You can have it with a nice whole grain cereal or granola. And it's super tasty, and it can be like a fun treat as well.
Awesome.
Absolutely. I have clients often asking. Oh, sorry. I would say I have clients often ask me, or they tend to stress eat, which is really normal to crave kind of sweeter type foods or salty type of fatty foods if you're really stressed or anxious, and there's a lot of stress eaters out there. So I try to help them come up with some carb protein or carb healthy fat options that they could go to. But for those that have a sweet tooth, I love there's so many ways you can use Greek yogurt. And like, again, I'm always saying you can go generic, which is so much cheaper than the on-brand options, and buying it in bulk. If you eat it, if you know, make sure to have it before it goes bad. So, I mean, just dipping any kind of fruit in a Greek yogurt and then freezing it as a little treat, and then sprinkling something on top, either a little bit of, for me, it's Nutella, just a little bite here and there. I just keep them in my freezer, and it's the best. And actually, it looks like we have a question about what our favorite seasonal fruits and vegetables are to cook with. And so right now I've been dipping my apples in Greek yogurt, actually. So that's just such an easy, convenient thing to reach for. And so that's one of my favorite things right now, are just, I'm finding some really yummy local apples in Columbus, which is where we are. So
I love apples year round. For me, I think I discovered something recently at the store. They had a bunch of pineapple, and I bought one, and it was really good. So I think kind of looking at your store and seeing what's on sale and what they have a lot of might be a good indicator of what might be tasting good right now and what's in. Carol, do you have a suggestion?
I agree. Like, we're kind of on a cusp season, right? Like, this is sort of a low time. So the citrus season is kind of winding down, but I think you can still get some really good citrus, grapefruits, and I really like Cara oranges. They're a little bigger than like a navel orange, and they're a little pinker on the inside. I think they're crossed with a grapefruit, like a ruby red grapefruit and an orange. They really have a nice, like, sweet tartness. So I'm still buying those a lot. And then we're coming into like early, what's that?
Oh, I just said they're a really pretty color.
They're super pretty. And we're coming into like early spring stuff. So I'm really looking forward to eating like leafy greens, kale, collards, mustard greens, arugula. All of that's going to be coming up here really soon. So that's what I get pumped up about this time of year.
Yeah, I would echo that, Julie. I really love arugula. If you ever make like avocado toast, putting arugula on top before you add your eggs, if you add eggs, is delicious. It has that like slight peppery taste, and I love that. And then one of my favorite vegetables are asparagus, and so that's coming up too. And any way of cooking asparagus, whether that's grilled or baked, or even putting it into like rice dishes, like having a asparagus risotto is just so good.
Oh, yes. That is one of my favorite dishes that my mother makes. Asparagus risotto.
Nice.
You know, and if people need help knowing where to go to find seasonal fruits and vegetables, the Ohio Farm Bureau is a great resource online to see what's in season. It's a great resource. Yep.
Yeah, and I just put in the chat, there's a generic resource called fruitsandveggies.org, and they have a lot of great information about what's in season, but also some great recipes, storage tips, buying tips. If you're not sure how to buy mangoes, I was starting to see mangoes in the store this week. So so you can check out that link and chat here.
Yep. I was thinking about when you were talking about arugula just now, because I think so for me, I don't know if it's genetic, but I think it's so harsh. It's almost too peppery that like I can't stand it like on a pizza, which I see a lot. So I think it's a genetic thing, which is funny because then I think about cilantro, and I love cilantro, but I know a lot of people find that to have a soapy taste to that. But I actually really like adding, because I don't have that trait. And I find arugula too bitter. I actually prefer cilantro on my avocado toast and to add flavor. So if people don't like arugula or are like a little bit more sensitive to it, as I am, they may find that cilantro is a good way to add some extra flavor to their dishes, which seems fancy to balance it out, but
no,
it's easy.
not really.
I love it.
Pretty affordable. Yeah. It's only like $1.50. And, you know, greens, like green herbs like that are so flavorful. They add a ton of color, flavor, and nutrition. They're really easy on the gut. Just about anybody, regardless of what diet you're following, you can eat usually parsley, cilantro. They can even be some kind of easy on the gut, like relieving. They can actually help with some symptoms. So I like them. When I buy them, I will put them like in a cup of water, and I'll put a plastic bag that they came in like over the top of the whole thing, and I put them in my fridge, and it lasts for like 2 weeks like that.
It's great.
Wow.
They're a little mini greenhouse.
So yeah, what are you guys thinking about putting in your gardens this year? It just gets me thinking about that. Because
it's already going. I'm already going, Laura. You know I am. Yeah.
I do not have a green thumb, so I'm not gardening anything.
Well, my problem is
I'm happy.
The garden, so I kind of do a little containers here, containers there, and so I haven't really started yet either. But I know Julie has an amazing garden. You want to tell us what's in there already?
Yes, I love my garden. My garden is my happy place. So let's see. This weekend, I did my first round of starts. So I'm starting eggplant and peppers. I'm doing 3 different kinds of peppers. I'm doing a cayenne, a sweet green pepper, and a sweet red pepper. And those take a long time to sprout. You know, they take like this whole time, like from now until like the middle of May, like they will be growing inside. And they only will be like yay big when it's all said and done. So they're very slow. So I got those started first. I'm going to start my tomatoes and basil and everything in a couple of weeks. What do I have that's interesting this year? I'm doing a bunch of yellow squash this year. I usually do okra, but I'm skipping that this year. I've had enough okra, so I like to rotate it out.
Pepper, and that's good for your garden too. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, broccoli. That's what I'm doing this year that I've never done before. I'm going to try broccoli. That's a lie. I tried it once. I didn't have a lot of luck with it. So fingers crossed. Every season is different. Even if like something doesn't do well in your space this year, it might do well next year. It just depends on the sun, the soil, the water. So we'll see.
Yeah. So we have another question. Cooking can be very intimidating at first. What's the best way to learn how to start cooking? Does anybody want to start kind of talking about that?
I could jump in. This is something I've talked about with athletes. I guess I never really went into my prior history, but I worked with collegiate athletes prior to hopping on board with Dietitian In Your Kitchen. So learning how to cook is a big thing when you're in college, because a lot of times your parents have done it up until the time you go to school, then you're eating dorm food, and then you're on your own. So a good way to kind of bridge that gap is like learning how to use the microwave, because most people have it. So you can bake potatoes in the microwave. You can make like scrambled eggs in the microwave. You can like oatmeal, all these things that are going to provide a lot of nutrition to you, and not a whole lot of like areas where you can go wrong. It's either add a little bit more water, or you put it in for a little bit longer and you're good. So that's usually where I start. And then as they feel more comfortable with the foods that they make there, then it's like, okay, how do we move it to the stovetop or to the oven based off of what you have? So that's usually where I start with a lot of the people I work with.
That's a great idea. And then I would have some sage advice here is when you do get into cooking, and if you do kind of start liking it and enjoying it, and you're doing it more often, only add one new recipe maybe a week. Don't try to kill yourself to try a whole bunch of different new recipes. Because for me, I also, one of the things I did was get involved with, like cooking magazines. These days, everything's online. But if you start looking online and pinning like recipes you want to try and downloading recipes, just don't get yourself overwhelmed. So you're trying too many new recipes at one time. Julie's laughing.
I'm laughing because I do that. Oh my gosh, I have so many recipes I've saved and never made them. And every time I look at my list, I'm like, oh yeah, I was gonna make that. I haven't made it. But sometimes every now and then I will make it. So I just keep them. They just live.
Yeah. When I'm looking at recipes online, because I have always been a convenience cooker myself. So yeah, absolutely. To kind of first second what Caroline said, seeing what do you have to work with is number one. And and when I'm finding recipes, if it has I don't really count like salt and pepper and olive oil or oils, but in general, like if it seems like it has a ton of ingredients, I'm already gonna pass. Like if it has like 5 or 6 ingredients I can work with, but anything more than that, because sometimes I see a list and it's like, oh, this sounds good, and then the list is like a page long of what you need, and I'm like, oh my gosh, so it's intimidating. So I always look at the ingredients is really important to me, that it's going to be simple and easy. That's
right. And it costs money when you add on and try all these new ingredients too. So making sure there's not too many new ingredients to you in a recipe can be helpful.
Yeah.
Because it can be
definitely.
So,
and also pay attention to if it's calling for a lot of different specialty foods, because those can be really costly. So I often will see, different types of milks to use, different, fancy flours, different coconut oil, all this. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll think in my head, how can I maybe switch some of these things out for some more generic and more inexpensive options in its place? Because sometimes they get real fancy too, even though
they can, for sure.
A good cookbook to utilize is How to Cook Everything. And it's by Mark, Bittman, maybe. I can't remember. Okay, yeah. Some things maybe if you're on the like 20s, 30s, might not be realistic because some recipes are like dinner party-esque type things. But there's a lot of easy go-to options like how to broil shrimp or like how to cook these foods that, it's not going to be a crazy amount of ingredients. It's not this out there food, but it's those simple techniques to get it done. I think it's a really good cookbook. So if anyone's in the area or wanting to get a cookbook, I would totally recommend that one.
That's a great recommendation. Yeah. I was going to say too, one of the things, so I grew up cooking. I grew up in a household with lots of cooks. And so I had a bit of a background, which is nice, right? But so if you're someone like that who is already kind of cooking and you're looking to like kind of level up, one thing that really propelled me into new flavors was joining a CSA. So a CSA stands for Community Supported Agriculture. So it's a local farm that you sign up, you pay like a subscription per month, and they just give you whatever they are growing. And that it does 2 things. A, you're supporting a local economy, which is wonderful. The produce quality is often just really excellent. But, you have to be creative because like sometimes you just get, yellow squash for 4 weeks straight. And you're like, what else can I do with this darn vegetable? Or one time I got like radishes for a month and I was like, okay, I'm sick of eating them raw. What else can I do with a radish? And I really learned a lot of different techniques and different ways to flavor and use vegetables. And that was just a really fun experience.
Yeah. Awesome.
So it sounds like kind of that same method where, pick one recipe at a time. Don't try too many things at once. And I recommend this to parents with their kids too, is, if you're looking to handle or learn to like the taste of a new food, especially a fruit or vegetable, do one at a time. And then really learn how you can cook it, be familiar with it before trying something else. So it's sort of to second that. I think that's a great way to go about learning how to cook a new food.
Awesome. Okay, well, I want to finish this up because I know we want to be mindful of everyone's time. But just to bring things back, we, like I mentioned, we are launching our Nitty Gritty program. And so I am going to share with you now some information about that. Let's see here. Oh, I have to, looks like I might have to hide myself. Hold on.
Oh, hey guys.
Bye. Yep, we can see it.
Yep.
Perfect.
I'm not sure if Laura is able to speak while the screen is being shared, but
go ahead. Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. I couldn't talk while I had that up there. So yeah, the 6-week program, I'll just talk about it, is something that, like I said, you're going to get paired with a dietitian for 6 weeks. There's 4 weeks of content. It comes out once a week. You'll get a new module to watch and learn more information about about basics of nutrition. And it's a great place to start setting goals for yourself. And just especially if you're not, sure you're comfortable working one-on-one with somebody, or not sure you want to do that right now. The cool thing is, as you might have seen for a minute, the price for the program is $125. However, since you're listening to us and you're watching our audio and it's RDN Day and National Nutrition Month, through the end of the month, we are going to give a discount of $50 off. And all you need to do is, when you join the program, the registration, I'll try to put the registration link. It should have showed up in the feed, but did it show up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you follow that link and you use the promo code friends and then ampersand family, I'll type that in the chat here too, but we'll type that into the chat for you guys. But if you use that promo code, you should get $50 off. So if you have any trouble accessing it or getting the promo code to work, don't hesitate to reach out to us. You can email us at info@dietitianinyourkitchen.com. Message us on Facebook, YouTube, wherever, and we would be happy to answer any questions you have and get you started. So thank you all for joining us. This was fun. This was great. And
really fun.
Yeah.
Thank you for your questions and for those on the call still. And we look forward to hopefully doing this again.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.